Hey folks, this is Scott with the Scott Show podcast for the Smackdown recap show. I just want to give you guys some highlights of the Smackdown show, and that's what we do here every Tuesday night after Smackdown. We recap what happened on the show, which is on the USA Network. It is live on Tuesday, every Tuesday night, and of course SummerSlam happened on Sunday. There were a lot of things that happened after SummerSlam that we can talk about here today, and a lot of different things that happened to move forward to the next pay-per-view, which I believe is Hell in a Cell for SmackDown. So the next pay-per-view altogether in 5 weeks is No Mercy. That's the Raw brand. Then Hell in a Cell, I think, is in 7 weeks, and that's at the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, I think. So, we'll check that out as soon as we get some more information on that. What I gotta tell you guys is this show was completely off the hook. SmackDown defeated Raw this week in how they did everything from top to bottom. I was just ecstatic with how it went. So we were live there last night at the Barclays Center. Tom Phillips, JBL, Byron Saxton making the call. Tom Phillips is actually getting better. JBL is JBL. It's whatever. But Byron Saxton is just terrible. I just want to make that comment right away. Byron Saxton is just a terrible announcer. Why, WWE, why? I don't get it. There are some other terrible announcers out there too. I do like Nigel McGuinness on NXT. I think he's getting way better. Percy Watson, he's alright. Over on the Raw side, Corey Graves is the man. I love myself some Corey Graves. I can't even tell you. I know it's Michael Cole, of course, but I can't even tell you who the other guy is on that show. And I just frankly don't care, because Corey Graves and Michael Cole, they would be the team for me to make the call. So there you go. And of course Mauro is doing a great job on NXT. But enough of that, let's get forward. AJ Styles hits the ring, the US champion, retaining his title at SummerSlam. One of the only people to retain their titles at SummerSlam. AJ Styles comes out, and then comes out Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens says, you're done, or I'm sorry, AJ says you're done. He was reinstating the U.S. title open, which was the John Cena thing. I can actually say one good thing about John Cena is that he did defend his title, even though his matches were boring as shit. Excuse my French to any people listening out there, and I know if anybody from France is listening, excuse the fact that I call it French. Anyway, so AJ said, no, you're not getting that shot. You got beat already. We're done. Over with. Owens said, well, Shane screwed him in the match. Shane comes out and says, hey, I didn't screw you in the match. You lost fair and square. AJ won the belt. And Owens says, well, one more match. I'll pick the ref. And so it was whatever. AJ says, let him pick the ref. He'll have no more excuses, and it's his last shot tonight. So that's it. So after that, Shane leaves, whatever, and Daniel Bryan's on the phone. Says he's got a whole bunch of big surprises planned, and let me tell you, folks, he was not kidding. Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers come in. They're talking about the Singh brothers being the only reason Jinder's the champion. And he makes Nakamura and the Singh brothers for tonight. And they go to commercial. They come back. Owens is talking to Sami Zayn. And asks Sami to think about being the ref. So it's whatever. And then comes probably my favorite part, and I'm gonna go watch it back on Hulu because well, I'm gonna spoil it right now, and it's not spoiling it since it already happened. but I'm going to say it anyway, folks. The next scene was glorious. And if you guys have not seen the show yet and just listen to my recap to get all the news, Aiden English comes out. I know that's not what you were thinking. Aiden English comes out, sing a song, and then all of a sudden we hear the piano, and out comes the glorious one himself, Bobby Roode, former NXT champion, now on Smackdown. And Bobby Roode wins against Aiden English with the glorious DDT. Just how exciting is it to have some of the best themes on SmackDown? I mean, you're looking at Bobby Roode coming out to Glorious, and then Shinsuke Nakamura coming out to his music. Even though I like his New Japan stuff better, but whatever. And I mean, come on, you got some great theme songs, if nothing else, and AJ coming out. Just wow. And, you got some really great stuff coming forward. You have Rude, he could face off against Jericho, Owens, Styles, Nakamura again. Just crazy, and I'm excited because Bobby Roode's the man. And he, of course, did a little interview and said, hey, SmackDown went from great to glorious. They're going to totally overdo that word, but I just don't care. It's just so great. Daniel Bryan was backstage again. Chad Gable walks in and says, hey, this is what's up. And, or hey, what's up? And Daniel Bryan says, hey, Jason Jordan got traded to Raw. But he made a deal. He didn't just give him Jason Jordan. He says, I gave Jason Jordan to him, but I got him to give me a friend. And Shelton Benjamin makes his return to SmackDown. So not only now do you have, I'm just completely shocked, folks. Not only do you have Bobby Roode, glorious one himself, but then you have Shelton Benjamin, who makes his return, and Gable and Shelton will be a tag team next week. Is it going to happen that they turn on one turns on the other? Are you going to see Shelton be a bad guy? That would be interesting. I mean, come on, you could see Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Roode. Holy crap. Of course, they go to Sammy and Owens again, and you get the ref shirt, but he turned down the offer. He said, no, it ain't happening, folks. Ain't doing it. And that's just what it is. And then you had the Hype Bros come out with the Usos, the new tag team champions. The Usos win. Really nothing huge about that. We'll see what happens with the tag team division. Now you got Gable and Shelton out there. We'll see how that works out. I'm not excited about the Usos being the champs and the Hype Bros getting kind of shot down. Whatever works. So handicap match next: Shinsuke Nakamura, the King of Strong Style. I'm not going to on these shows refer to him as the artist, because to me he's the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura. He doesn't need more nicknames. So Shinsuke wins over the Singh brothers, which was pretty awesome. Just see Shinsuke out there wrestling all together. The guy is freaking entertaining is all hell. And he did a win with an armbar this time, and then he took out Jinder with the Kinshasa. So there you go. And it looks like Nakamura is going to be fighting Jinder again. Looks like it's going to be Hell in a Cell, and it's going to be a long build, which will be really nice. Or maybe they'll have it on SmackDown. Maybe an open or a season premiere, since those normally come up in September anyway. So Kevin Owens is still walking around the stage looking for somebody to be a referee. He talks to Tyler Breeze and Fandango. And then Corbin comes out and says, hey, I'll take it, but if you win the title, I want the first shot. And so they make a deal, which was really cool. They make a deal and they do that. And Corbin is going to be your special guest referee. Now, you have in the next match, the women's match, it's Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Natalya and Carmella, which was good. I was glad to see that there wasn't a rematch right away. So that was kind of cool. And it was really nice to see Carmella wrestle in Brooklyn. I was really glad to see that she did that. Naomi did win with the worst split-legged moonsault you could ever do. If you watch her split-legged moonsault when she goes up, she doesn't actually split her legs all together. I know she does in the backstage area, but when she does it, it's just like a normal flip-off when you're not even doing that much because the ropes are so close when she jumps. If you watch like a RVD split-legged moonsault, I mean, he's coming off that rope with force. This just looks like crap. John Morrison is another one who does a great move like that, and he's very, very talented when it comes to that split-legged moonsault. So you watch it because some of them, it looks like they're just bouncing off the ropes, and they're not actually. So it's not actually a split-legged moonsault, but they'll call it that because one leg goes on one side of the turnbuckle and one leg goes on the other. So it's whatever. Naomi and Becky Lynch win the match. I know that Becky Lynch had to carry the match because Naomi has the wrestling ability of John Cena, and they both suck. Okay, so, and we're going to move forward on that. Dolph Ziggler comes out. They do a backstage thing with Dolph Ziggler, and he's talking about how he's less than thrilled about being reintroduced to Smackdown. Talking about how he can be a star. He's going to start singing, play guitar, rap some, dance like an idiot. Yeah, and he was very, very good on the mic. This heel Dolph Ziggler. I can deal with this. So let's see what exactly he's going to do. It says next week they're going to show. So let's see him against maybe Owens or fight AJ for the U.S. title. I wouldn't mind seeing those matches. So there you go. So Lana and Tamina are doing their backstage stuff again. I'm very interested to see what will happen with Tamina being, the most feared woman on SmackDown. I really want to see it. I want to see what happens. I wouldn't mind Tamina taking out Naomi. That would be the first thing. Of course, I would want that to see that just happen. Just take her out, and then and then maybe take out Becky Lynch and have that be a good feud. I think that would be awesome. And then they could add maybe a woman from the Mae Young Classic. I see that Asuka got hurt, so she's not available, but they got to pull somebody, probably from the Mae Young Classic. Later down the line, they'll give them a shot at the WWE. So after all that, we get to the main event where we have Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, and the special guest referee, former Mr. Money in the Bank, and he's just losing all over the place, Baron Corbin. So we have this United States title match, and it's great. I mean, how can you watch an AJ Styles match and not think, hey, this is really great stuff. We're going to rock this thing around. But what happened was Shane McMahon runs to the ringside, yells at Corbin for fast counting the match, says, he's watching, and Shane says, well, you're not the referee anymore. I'm going to be the referee. Owens is pissed, and, he puts his shirt on. That's what happened. Phenomenal forearm. AJ wins, retains the title, and Kevin Owens doesn't get another shot. So, folks, I'm not super excited about the whole referee thing. I mean, I guess we're going to see Owens and Shane McMahon maybe in a little bit more of a hardcore match than you would normally see. And if we get that, I'm excited for that. I can go with that idea of seeing Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon at Survivor Series. I'm cool with that. AJ needs to go somewhere else with the U.S. title. Maybe he could do the Open and have Ziggler come out or whatever. And I like that too. Or maybe have AJ and Bobby Roode, because that would be a good feud. You also have Rusev, you also have Orton, you have other people that are on the show that you really didn't see this week. And I know that people really don't like the fact that SmackDown, or that Raw is 3 hours and SmackDown is 2. They don't like the fact that Raw is 3 hours. But I wouldn't mind a 3-hour SmackDown if you elongate the matches a little bit and give me everybody. Give me Orton and Rusev, and give me some tests of strength from a big dude, and I want to see stuff that's not wrestling that still makes me want to watch wrestling. I want the Brother Love show to come back. And I know Bruce Pritchard is in GFW, but whatever. I want to see something like the tests of strength come back. More background on these guys, because they need to do something to say, hey, these wrestlers, these guys that are out here, are athletes. They're really good. I'm a big fan of Seth Rollins and his Instagram, and Bayley and hers. If you see what Bayley's doing in the ring right now, or not in the ring, but in the gym, she's preparing to come back and be hitting it heavy. She's got that shoulder injury. She's going to be out for months. But she's still kicking booty. And so check that out. If you guys have any time on you, check it out. Bayley on Instagram. Or check out Seth Rollins. There's a few other people. They are just doing amazing, amazing things in the gym. And it shows, folks. It really shows. When you go out and see what they're doing. So I am super excited that SmackDown picked up Bobby Roode, Shelton Benjamin. They have really good matches. I want to see Rusev do something, not a 6-second take a fall to Randy Orton. I know he's the Viper. I know he's an important wrestler. But dear God, people, Randy freaking Orton and Rusev, 6 seconds, they could have had a great match on SummerSlam. And they don't even show up on SmackDown. What the hell? What the hell? So, very disappointed, folks. I am. I'm sad. Because I think that SmackDown could go 3 hours and be entertaining. I don't think Raw could stay at 3 hours and be entertaining. I think that with all the people that are coming in right now, SmackDown is the better brand. They have Nakamura, and they lost John Cena. So because they lost John Cena, he's no longer with SmackDown. SmackDown is the better brand, and I'm excited to watch the next pay-per-view. I'm going to watch it more intently than I watched the last one, because I didn't want to see Cena anywhere, and his match with Rusev. I mean, come on. You not only job out Rusev in a flag match, just because you gotta have that patriotic stuff going on, but then you job him out in 6 seconds to Randy Orton. So those are my frustrations. What I would do, AJ and Rusev have a blood feud over the U.S. Championship. That's what I would do. Bobby Roode comes out and just beats up people, and maybe has a feud with Kevin Owens, because I would like that. That would be kind of cool. Both Canadian guys, but it sounds like Roode is a face and Owens is a heel, so let's see that. Owens and Roode would be a great fight. Let them fight. Shelton Benjamin and Gable, you can let them fight the Usos, let them take the titles. You have the Fashion Police, and they've got some stuff on somebody coming soon. So maybe it's the Authors of Pain, or maybe it's Sanity, or who knows. But do with it what you will. That's a little bit of information I have when it comes to the shows that happen. I think that they are on their way now to go film in Florida for NXT. I think that's their next, the next call. And I know that NXT is taped from Brooklyn this week, so you'll see a show that had some Brooklyn stuff. And maybe they tape for the next 2 weeks, I'm not even sure. But check it out. It's good stuff. NXT will be taping very soon, and you'll see what happens for their next takeover. Asuka's hurt, of course, so she's out 6 to 8 weeks with a collarbone injury, and we'll see what happens there. I'm going to be highlighting more of this on the wrestling show that I'm going to be probably doing on Saturday night, just because Saturday sounds like a great time to do a wrestling show, since I don't have a weekend show coming up here on the wrestling show part for a while. 5 weeks, No Mercy, and then a few after that for Hell in a Cell, and then of course Tables, Ladders, and Chairs on October 24th, live from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hell to the yeah, Minneapolis, Minnesota going to have a pay-per-view. I believe it's at the Target Center. So what I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to get off here. But before I go, I just want to give you guys some quick little information on what's going to come up here soon on the Scott Show, on the 102550 network. We got a bunch of stuff coming up, and it's really super exciting. The first thing I got to tell you about is we do have a show coming up. We are going to be doing some stuff for the 102550 network when it comes to the YouTube. So it won't be on Speaker at all. We do love our Speaker.com. We are making great waves on Speaker. People are loving us here.
Progressive brings you.
And of course, we got stuff playing in the background. Always noises. But I was listening to the president earlier, and now just hooking up other things. So what's going to happen is I'm going to come up with a Google Calendar. It's going to have all of the shows that we do have for our podcast. We're going to make sure before midnight that they are all done. Normally, some of them will even have times that they are set up, such as the Scott Show Wake-Up Call and the recap shows, which are normally done at 9:30. The Smackdown show is done at 9:30. The Raw show is done at 10:30. That's the normal time that they're done, but we will try to make sure we get them up as soon as possible. Sometimes we have glitches, or I'm just not here to do the podcast. And I know that people were excited about the Scott Show Wake Up Call, which is always Tuesdays and Fridays now. And I'm going to have to move the Friday one. I'm actually going to be doing a special Thursday night show. It's going to be Thursday night, and it's probably going to be launching at around 9 o'clock. And it's going to be the Scott Show Late Night Show. Just because on Friday we will be taping some stuff for the 102550 brand out of town. So we are going to be out of town on Friday, taping for 102550 YouTube and all of the really cool stuff. Plus we have really cool stuff, and I'm really super excited. We're going to be doing a pop culture kind of icon show on the YouTube, and we'll be bringing some of that to Speaker, but not a lot of it. So just kind of heads up, we'll be having a lot of content being pumped out here. So much content that I need help, and I'm calling in people to help me with content and build up the brand. So it's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. In fact, folks, to end this on the highest note I can, it's going to be glorious. I love it. So that was our SmackDown recap show. We've gone, 25 minutes? A lot of these recaps, everything's kind of going like 30 minutes. So check us out on 102550 on YouTube. We are at the Scott Show on Speaker.com. We're also at 102550.net/The Scott Show for our website. We are also doing our football show on Patreon.com. We're doing football pick'em. We're really super excited about that. A lot of pumped up stuff we got coming up here, folks. I'm really super excited. Can't wait to hook you guys up with more content, more stuff going on with the Scott Show and 102550. We have 5 networks here, so we're going to be loading you guys up with content. If you guys want the links to download part of the show, if you only want the sports, if you only want the Scott Show with the wake-up calls and everything else, if you only want the wrestling show, hit me up and I'll get you guys those links so you guys can only get those shows. Because I know some people were asking about that. Because they don't want the sports show, but they want the Scott Show, or they don't want a certain show, like they don't want the 102550 show, even though that's the business and that's what I do. That's how we make our money. But they want the Scott Show, or they want the sports show, or whatever. So we'll give you guys what you want. We're always here for you. That's what we're doing. We serve you guys by giving you guys not only great content, news, and fun. That's what we do. That's what we're here for. And we're super excited to do that. So check us out, The Scott Show, at 102550.net, and also 102550 YouTube. We're on Speaker, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. We're all over the place. So folks, I'm Scott from 102550, the president of the board, the boss, the legit boss, and we'll catch you guys later.